They say it never rains in Southern California, but it's pouring in the Bay.
Hello, everyone out there on YouTube. I'm going to be your reader for today, Quintari Shakir. You're tuned into the Secret Services Celebrity Psychic Readings brought to you by Black Spectrum Network. Make sure that you check out my Patreon. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. Also, make sure that you subscribe to this video. Please like this video, share this video, and comment on this video. Please leave your comments in the comment section, obviously, but what I'm saying is please leave your please leave your questions in the comment section of this video, because I know that you all have many questions about John McCain, but there are just only just a few things that I want to ask about his death. I want to say rest in peace, John McCain. We need to keep his spirit in our prayers so that he can peacefully cross over. With that being said, I'm going to get right into the reading. Okay, so the first card I get is my remembering card. So this is talking about, I'm looking at John McCain 2 hours prior to him dying. The remembering card is talking about him having playing around with a nostalgic memory that needs analysis so that he can get closure. It could also talk about him retrieving a memory or experience from the past and trying to bring it to the present. The next card that's over this is his challenge or obstacle, which is the law of cause and effect. This is talking about him trying to master his feelings and thoughts so that he can understand the circumstances in his life. I feel like this is him just trying to think about himself as an American hero or an American legend, hoping that people remember him as such. He wants to, I'm hearing that he really wanted to try to redeem his legacy in the last years of his life. And he wanted to, he wanted people to know him, as a prominent and important public figure. He wanted to be a household name, and he was hoping for that. Then the next card that's beneath this is that this is talking about people collecting intel or trying to gain knowledge from him. So I feel like there was a lot of things that he was saying a lot of things that he had said prior to dying to a lot of important people in the government. So I'm particularly seeing people in the FBI that he was, giving advice to, things that he had noticed or known, or, things that he had, come to have known about during his time that he had been alive. Then I get the card for resentment, which is talking about him replaying a memory or a feeling that's keeping him angry. But this resentment card is specifically talking about, I know this is talking about his feelings towards President Donald Trump. I then get the karmic injustice card, which is talking about basically his death being, pretty random for him. I think that he thought that he was going to pull through with this. I don't think that he thought that he was going to die today. I think that he knew that this was coming for him, but he didn't expect it to happen today. And I don't think you need a psychic reading to tell you that. But the last card is the outcome of things, and it's talking about him and his wife. So if his wife watches the video, the one thing he was thinking about was, the sex and intimacy card is talking about, him wanting to, be with his wife, one last time, to really connect with her one last time, to be intimate with her one last time. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing here. He had a pretty, peaceful death. I'm not seeing anything dark, negative going on in his mind or with him. But I'm going to shuffle my tarot cards, and I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and then I'm going to close out the reading. Okay, so one of the first questions that I want to ask is I want to know how, what did he think of Donald Trump, and I then want to know what does Donald Trump think of John McCain's death. Okay, so John McCain thought that Donald Trump was a traitor to the United States. The three of sources saying that he feels like he strongly feels, in his heart, emotionally, not it's not even a thinking. John McCain had this intuitive knowing that Donald Trump is he's kind of like, I felt like he was, I really feel like he's a traitor to the United States. I don't feel like he can be trusted. I don't think that he always had this suspicion of Donald Trump. I think that, in the beginning, from what the three of sources telling me, is that in the beginning he, had some sort of affection for Donald Trump. He wanted to assume that he had just been misunderstood as a political candidate. He wanted to believe that this was Donald Trump was part of a new generation of voters, and that the United States was trying to move in a completely different way. He wanted to blindly buy into it, or as a reader on YouTube that you all should check out, Mama Neptune, says he was being optimistically delusional about Donald Trump, but then everything just kind of blew up in his face. It's kind of like John McCain felt that he had been defending Donald Trump for the wrong reasons. And he felt, that it was just time for him to, kind of be silent on issues of speaking about Donald Trump for a period of time. But then the Hermit card comes out, and this is saying that John McCain is saying that, in his position amongst his colleagues, he was the one. He found himself being, at some points being the only person to be outspoken about his thoughts about Donald Trump possibly colluding with the Russian government. And I'm saying possibly because he's saying it in that way. He really wanted his colleagues to really scrutinize the idea that this could have happened. But at the same time, he also knew that there were reasons that they, couldn't take it to task, and reasons that they wouldn't take it to task because, different, some of his colleagues have different lobbying interests. The Ace of Wands card comes out, and this is talking about him saying that, no, he's trying to take action. He felt like Donald Trump was impetuous. Let's put it that way. He felt that he was very impetuous with his decision making and how he instituted policies, and he felt that some of those policies betrayed the moral integrity of the United States. But at the same time, with some things being upheld by the Supreme Court, he kind of felt like perhaps there's a hint of truth in that Donald Trump is pushing the United States to, and this is John McCain's feelings. There may be a hint of truth in that, in the fact that Donald Trump is pushing the United States in a pushing the United States forward in a way that he could support, one way that he could possibly support. So if you get what I'm saying, with the Supreme Court justice upholding certain policies instituted by, not instituted, but implemented by President Donald Trump. But well, you can say instituted as well. But with the Four of Wands, the Temperance card, and the Four of Cups is saying that, John McCain for a long time had, it's kind of like, he had one foot in the door, one foot out the door with Donald Trump, as far as his opinion of Donald Trump. He's kind of like, he's hot, he's cold, he's yes, he's no. Sometimes I feel like he's cool, sometimes I feel like he's not. But then they reached a point where John McCain is kind of just like sitting, he's sitting to himself at home, and he's kind of like not even kind of like he's he was seriously contemplating the he was seriously contemplating the effects that Donald Trump's ideology was having on the moral behavior of the United States society. And then the Four of Wands is also talking about he started to feel that Donald Trump was his personal life was becoming was distracting his personal life was distracting the public from what Congress and the Senate was actually trying to work on and push forward. He's like, there are tons of things that they work on 24/7. There are tons of not tons of, but there are many policies or multiple policies a day that they're voting on and working to that they're working to either ratify or to destroy. And so ultimately, I can say that John McCain feels like Donald Trump completely tarnished. He's tarnishing America's global reputation. John McCain isn't fond of Donald Trump, and in the words of Mama Joyce, John McCain wouldn't piss down Donald Trump's throat if his stomach was on fire. So how does Donald Trump feel about John McCain's death? Let's see. Some of these cards are upside down, but this needs to be right set up. President Donald Trump is actually President Donald Trump is actually kind of feeling like, he's kind of like, well, it happened. He's like, shit happens. As the Queen of Wands, he's just kind of like, shit happens, and how he's on some. How can we get somebody to replace him? He's fired. Okay, he's like permanently fired, and we need someone to replace him right now. And he wants this to get he wants people to. He wants people to think about this. He wants the public to really think about this. He's kind of like, you see how the United States runs. Someone can die, and how long it could take, and how bureaucratic it is to just get somebody to refill this position. Do you know how long it would take me to get them to do that? As soon as I fire someone, there's someone coming right through the door again. That's how he feels. He's like, who's going to fill his seat next? But what the Star card is saying, that in public, Donald Trump is going to he's going to appear demure, and he's going to give very casual remarks and condolences. Donald Trump is going to be a little bit shady. I mean, this is it. He's just going to throw a little bit of shade, but he's going to, or he is, I don't know, because he's probably tweeted about this now, but publicly Donald Trump is going to give his condolences, and he's not going to he's not going to try to be divisive, but privately he's kind of like, okay, we have to refill his position. The Hierophant card is saying that he's also thinking about who's going to replace John McCain, because he feels he's thinking he's Donald Trump is nervous about the midterm elections, and he's nervous about who could refill John McCain's position, because that person could. I'm hearing that person could try to be more aggressive in getting the Republican Party to take more seriously the idea that Donald Trump's campaign colluded with the Russian government. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle a couple more times, and I'm going to ask a few more questions. Okay, one other thing that I do want to know is I want to know how Meghan McCain is going to deal with this, and how this will affect the View. And then I'm going to try to think of another question, but that's what I really want to know. How is this affecting Meghan McCain and the View? Well, Meghan McCain, she's going to take some time off. Okay, I think she may take like a week off for this, maybe 2 weeks off for it. The View is going to continue forward, and she's going to still get paid. Okay, she's still going to collect her check. Okay, she's still going to get her coin. The Knight of Wands is saying that Meghan McCain she's ready to retreat. She's retreated now. She's hurt by this. The Devil card is saying that this is her greatest fear. Meghan McCain, after this, I'm not saying that she will be more liberal, but I feel that she's going to be staunchly Republican, but I do feel that she's going to change some of her ideas socially. I think that this is going to shift her a little bit more towards the left. The Fool card is saying that she's never experienced a heartbreak like this. This is devastating for her. This is a complete travesty. I think that Meghan McCain will be drinking, but I don't get that she's like a drinker. But I do get that she will be drinking. The Four of Wands is saying that this is really shaking up her entire home. And then the Six of Cups is saying that she and her mother are kind of, she's crying. Like her mom is her mom as a matriarch. She's holding it down. Mrs. McCain is holding it down. She's hugging everybody. She's trying to keep everybody strong through this. It is completely devastating. She's crying, but Meghan is she's torn to pieces by this. But these cards, the Three of Coins is saying that she's still going to get her money. All right, so the next question that I'm going to ask, what question could I ask? Because there's so many. I guess the final question that I could ask is, did John McCain want Donald Trump to get impeached? I get the Knight of Coins, the Death card, the Hermit. The arithmetic of these three cards is saying that it's like absolutely. John McCain feels like Donald Trump paid people, Donald Trump's campaign. Okay, he feels that Donald Trump's campaign paid people that were not in the United States to help elect Donald, get him elected in some way. The Death card is saying that he wants Trump's term to end rather swiftly. The Hermit card is saying that, again, he was the one that secretly, he was trying to get his colleagues to really consider that, things were, Donald, that the campaign was doing things in the dark that, really needed to come to light, and the party needed to, work with the Justice Department and the work with the Justice Department, and I hate to say this, he was saying in a way the Democrats to figure out if these allegations were true. The Star card is saying that again, he also feels like Donald Trump's reputation. He's like, he's a liar. That's what he would say. He's like, he's a liar. That's an important feature of Donald Trump that he didn't like. And in his view, he saw him as a liar. The Two of Wands is saying that the Two of Wands and the Hangman the arithmetic of these two cards, because they're speaking to me together. This is saying that John McCain was always he wanted to he wanted to. I'm seeing I'm seeing the times when a politician would bring articles of impeachment to the floor and give their speech about him, but they wouldn't do anything. Donald Trump, not Donald Trump, but John McCain, one of those times see, the thing is that the articles of impeachment have been brought to the, to the Senate floor, to the House floor before, but it's like no one has, really signed on, to it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you have to think about the fact that John McCain sat there one time. He's like, damn, only 2 people are down there, but I'd like to be down there. I really like if I could roll my wheelchair down there, I would. So the hangman is saying that the hangman and the 2 of wands are saying that he always went against his better judgment. No, he always followed his better judgment, where he knew that it's going to be incredibly difficult to get this man impeached. I can't work on that right now. If I lead that and start that, he had other things to do. He was worried about his legacy and finishing things for himself, because he was, he knew that his time was about to come to an end. All right, so I know you all have other questions about John McCain. Please leave them in the comment section. I want to do a personality reading on him. I would love to answer questions about him. I would love to answer questions about Meghan McCain. And please make sure you go to patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network and and sign up for a membership. If you want to get a private reading with me, go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com. And get a psychic reading, or go to quintarius.com and get a psychic reading. I think that's it, but I just want to let you all know. Sign up for Mama Neptune on Patreon. Not Patreon, but on YouTube. Sign up for Mama Neptune on YouTube. She's a psychic reader. She did a reading on Charlemagne the God. She did a reading on Omarosa. She did a reading on Queen Naija. She did a reading on that woman from that does the Wife Academy. Also, make sure you check out Indica Crystals. Indica, INDIKA CRYSTALS on Instagram, or indicacrystals.com. So that's Indica with a K, indicacrystals.com. She made this beautiful bracelet for me. So yeah, that's all. Remember, the cards are still speaking, and don't trust no lone witches. Bye.
It's been a long time, but I still got love for you, and that won't ever change. They say it never rains in Southern California, but it's pouring in the Bay. San Jose, girl, I know we tried to tell ourselves those lies.